Hi, this is George Alger. Welcome to today's segment of Our Ventura TV. Today we're going to be speaking about music as a healing tool. And joining us is Toni Jannotta, who is a singer, a writer, and a teacher. Welcome, Toni. And what does this mean, music as a healing tool?
From my perspective, music heals just because that's the essence of music. When you're sad, what do? You listen to music. When you're happy, when you're celebratory, music is always there in your life. There's a whole field of study, music therapy. So music, to me, is really deep. And I've talked to you about overtones. You hit a bell. Most of us hear one wave. Some people hear many waves. Music hits us, I believe, vibrationally in such a way that it can calm us, it can lift us up, it can help us express how we are feeling. If we're working out some sadness, if we're working out some trauma, music and some things that are nonverbal, that's where music comes in, because it can help us non-verbally describe how we're feeling and what we're going through. And from that validation, that helps us heal. That's why in my life going forward, when I do any kind of music, I want it to have a healing component. Not that it's never had a healing component, but now I'm aware of it.
Very good. Okay, so from the perspective of a music listener, and let's just say that they're picking music because, I don't know, maybe they do want to feel uplifted, so maybe they listen to an uplifting song. On the other hand, sometimes you listen to music and maybe not even thinking that it has a sad melody, and yet that's what's attracting to you. So would you say that even music that isn't necessarily uplifting is still healing?
No, absolutely, because sometimes people like myself want absolutely no music. I don't want to hear any melody, harmony, rhythm. And that's because I think there's music going on in our heads all the time, but we're unaware of it. So yes, I believe if we're sad, we'll turn on a piece of music, and somehow, once again, it helps us define, describe, and validate what we're going through. Now, lyrics have another dimension, because a lyric will help describe what somebody's going through. And you'll say, oh yeah, geez, it's exactly how I felt. And that really, really helps me know that it's okay to be having this human experience.
Very good. Now, of course, you are a singer, and so you've been doing this for some time. The the range of your songs, though, I would imagine embraces all types of emotions. So, since it seems to be taking on a greater importance in this phase of your life, do you look at all your song or any music that you're performing to have this element of healing, and then the degree that it will heal anyone is just relative to what the viewer's or the listener's perception is? Would that be a way to articulate this?
No, it's a great question. The answer is no. I don't think about that when I'm choosing a tune. When I want to sing a tune, it's because I love the harmony, I love the melody, I love the rhythm. And I don't think at the time, yeah, this is going to help someone heal. I don't think about it. I think that happens anyway, because it's up to the listener to decide what they like, what works for them, and what they want to hear that moment. I do, excuse me, I do think about it when I'm writing. So I'll think about, I need to get this out of my system. I need to put this out into the world. If 5 people buy my CDs, those 5 people may or may not say, yeah, I felt that way before, I get it. Or yeah, that makes me feel better just to listen to it. Or it's mellow, and I go to this type of music and the sound of this singer when I need to relax, something like that. But I only think about um, how my music will reach people when I'm writing, because that's when when I'm really conscious of getting something out of my system, in the hopes that people in the audience will identify with it. They don't have to be helped. It's all, we've talked about this before, it's all about listening. And if we're good listeners, everything else takes care of itself.
Okay, very good. So just to help me make sure I've got a good foundation on this, when we're talking about music as a healing tool, we're certainly talking about its capacity to, to help people, but it's not necessarily something that any individual needs to be consciously aware of at any given time. Would that be appropriate?
Yeah, and because jazz is my music, people will say to me, well, I don't listen to jazz because I don't understand it. And I always say there's nothing to understand.
Mm-hmm.
You either like it or you don't. And if you like it, it's good. And if you don't like it, it's not good, because it's their experience, it's their life, it's the road they're walking, and that's what's important, not what I'm doing. I'm just, hopefully in my better moments, a clear channel for whatever music is trying to come through me and express into the world. It's always going to express through my likes, dislikes, personality. So I just try to be a well-tuned instrument for when the music blows through me. But it's up to the individual. You don't have to think, not think, just live your life and that'll be perfect.
Very good. I'd like to actually define healing in this context, if possible, because I'm realizing that for me, when I think of that, I do tend to think in terms of uplifting oneself. And certainly music can do that. But I'm wondering if perhaps you're defining this in your speaking here a much broader. Can you speak to that?
I don't know. I think I'm speaking to it just in the way it comes to me, how I feel about music. I don't think there's a one size fits all for music. Some people like rock, some people like jazz, some people are uplifted by Latin. Some people like heavy metal, gets it out of their system. And that's all really valid, and that's all really important, whether you or I like it or something different. I think I'm just describing it the way I'm coming to understand it. I had this really good friend, I won't drop names, but he's a well-known saxophone player, and he said, music's deep. And that's all he said. It's deep. And it is deep. And I think of music in a deep way because of overtones. And those are things we're hearing and feeling. We don't think about it. There's something about it that heals, even if it only helps us express how miserable we are.
Yeah.
Because if you hold on to your misery, you get to keep it. But if something helps you through, or if you're really excited, but when I used to have day jobs and I'd go to my desk and I'd be really excited and I'd be typing and I'd have no way to, if I'd taken the elevator, ran outside, jumped up and down a few times, I go, oh, now I can go back to work. So I do believe that music helps us, whether we're aware of it or not. And I don't think we have to be aware of it. This is just my take on one of the most important aspects of my life, being a musician and trying to keep my instrument well tuned.
Very good. On that note, let's wind this down here. We're just about out of time. In fact, as a way to wrap up, is there a website that viewers could go to learn more about this topic or yourself? And if you have a summating message for the viewers.
So my website is ToniJannotta.com. And the summation is just go be you. Just go be you. And if you're listening to music that day, awesome. If you're not, fine. Just go be you and live your life.
Thank you very much, Toni. Going to wrap things up here.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. This is George Alger signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we meet again,